One thing I always say is that life is all about perspective. And the reason why that's one of my favorite sayings is because it gives you power to change your experience in your life when you really accept the fact that life is all about perspectives, right? Man, I was getting emotional just putting this video together. I putting these clips together, just thinking about my own life. And I would just ask you guys to do the same thing for your life, right? So before we get into this, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. To all my new viewers, I post every single day, you know what I mean, except for Saturdays, because Sundays, as in today, we do a scripture read, all right? So if you need a daily podcast, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I know it don't mean a lot to you to press that button, but it mean a whole lot to me when you just press that button, all right? So please do that. And to all my returning viewers, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you already hit the like button, don't forget to hit the hype button. So today I want to talk about something because this is something that I feel like a lot of us are going through or we have went through. And we have not stopped to pause to do what we're about to talk about in this video, all right? So without further ado, man, let's get into this.
Gang, so you telling me this the reality for a man? That's it, bro? Nigga, I just got off of work. It's 2:56 in the morning. I don't have nobody to talk to, gang. I don't got nobody to comfort me, gang. I don't got nobody to tell me that it's okay, gang. I have nobody to talk to, gang. And even if I did, I still can't tell them how I feel because I don't like being vulnerable. I don't like feeling vulnerable. Even if I did explain how I feel, they wouldn't care, bro. Wouldn't nobody care. They gonna say, well, keep your chin up, keep your head up. What the fuck you think I've been doing this whole time, bro? Niggas is tired, bro. Yes, I might be a man, but niggas get tired of thugging, bro. I'm gonna keep it undone. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm speaking up for the niggas that don't have the strength to say this, bro. Niggas get tired of thugging, bro. Niggas is tired, bro. Like, is this reality for me? Work, go home, go to sleep, do it all again, bro. No social life, gang. I barely see my homeboys anymore, bro. Niggas is tired. I feel like I have no time on my hands, gang. Like, yeah. I don't know, bro. It just feel like this shit getting repetitive. I don't know, bro. I just feel like niggas is in a circle, bro. Niggas is in a loop or something, bro. And I'm gonna continue to keep my faith and pray to God and keep my hope, bro. But shit still get hard, bro. Shit still be hard, bro, at the end of the day.
Man, I remember sitting in my, what car did I have at that time? I remember sitting in one of my cars. It was, I think this is back in I want to say around 2020-ish, you know, and I just remember just sitting in my car and just crying, man. Just, yo, is this it, bro? Like, I remember being so deep in depression, my anxiety and social anxiety and just not wanting to, well, I didn't have so much of social anxiety in 2020. That didn't come till a little bit later on. But I remember just sitting in my anxiety and just thinking like, man, this can't be it, bro. Like, nothing is going right. Like, just crying to God, like help me, please. Like, I felt like I had nothing. I mean, I had a roommate at the time. I had my car. It was, you know, kind of a beater, you know. I just didn't feel like anything was going in the right direction. I think I was driving Lyft at the time. This was until, you know, they finally put me back on orders. I had got fired from my job. It was a lot. It was pretty heavy. This was 19 to 20, the years. And I just remember thinking like, damn, life is so terrible right now. And then I started to think about this.
It's really humiliating to be shaking a cup 24 hours a day and people just look at your room and get you something to eat. It's really humiliating to be.
I'll pull up this video because this is real life for a lot of people right here, right? Being homeless on the street, really wanting a job, especially in today's time. This video is a little bit older, but in today's time, there's a lot of people that they can't make ends meet. You know what I mean? So now, you have this young brother, and I completely understand and I sympathize with what he's going through. And there is no buts. I would just ask you to think about this. When you think about the fact that you're sitting in your car, you're making a video about going to work. You're sitting in your car and you're making a video about going home but being alone. I completely understand how when you put all the pieces like, well, dang, I ain't got nobody there. But let's just reframe that. Let's perspective shift that. But you're sitting in a car with AC and heat. I think we have gotten so spoiled to the point that we don't even accept or appreciate the things we call as small in our lives. See, a beat down car like a Saturn that I had at the time, an '02 Saturn, is a small, God did this for me, something small. But to this man right here, this homeless man right here, that is huge. That's life changing. That roommate that I had, and I only had, my room and the bathroom, and then we shared the kitchen and the living room and all that. Like, yeah, I wanted more, but to this man, that'd be huge to have that. So sometimes, instead of dwelling in everything we don't have, we need to have gratitude. I strongly believe gratitude is the perspective shift to, instead of weeping in our sorrows every single day about what we want, what we're chasing, what we don't have, what it doesn't look like, it'll reverse that and say, yeah, but I got this. Because when I sit here and I think about before I had my Saturn or before I had my first car, because maybe I didn't have my Saturn at that time. I had a different beater car. But anyways, I think about, damn, I just wanted to drive. There was one day I just wanted to drive. Damn, there was one day I just wanted a license. Damn, I just want enough money to get out of my parents' house. Damn, I remember a time where I was sleeping on the floor. I tell y'all all the time, dodging my roommates. Now, I mean, I had to pay $300 to them because we was all splitting rent. It was 4 of us. I didn't know them. You know what I mean? And I'm sleeping on a pallet, literally blankets, walking home from the train station. I used to work at Coffee Bean in Hartsfield, Jackson, and just looking at all the nice cars saying, dang, I wish one day I could have one of these. Dang, I wish I had a bed. And now I fast forward into my life now. And that's what kind of made me break down before I put this video together. I was just like, man, God constantly answered your prayers. I think about when I finally moved into my house. For a lot of people, home ownership is something that, a lot of people want. And I finally moved into my house. It was something I wanted. I wanted to live by myself. Didn't want a roommate no more. I felt like more of a man if I had my own. Finally got my house. You know what happened? I got comfortable in my house. I got comfortable where I was. Even though I'm far from where I came from, I went from having 3 roommates to sleeping on a pallet on the floor to eventually getting a roommate, having my own room, and he has his own room, and that's my homie, to buying my own crib. Now I'm in my own crib, and what's the struggle? Yeah, but I'm alone in this crib. Yeah, but I'm by myself, and I would sit around and I would walk slow, constantly say that to myself. Yeah, but I'm by myself. Yeah, but I'm by myself. Yeah, but why nobody want to be with me? All I want is some people around me. At what point in time do you just sit and appreciate, yeah, there's nobody in here with me, but look how far God has brought me. And in so many of your lives as well, in my life right now as well, we wake up and we constantly, man, I'm not there yet. Man, why did I do that? Look at where God has brought you. God has kept you. How many times have you prayed and say, God, if you just get me out of this, I promise you I will never do. And he got you out of it. How many times have we sat in that? Like actually sat in that? No, he got us out of it and we kept it pushing. Could you imagine? Could you imagine that? Constantly getting your child out of their mess or constantly giving your child better than what they had before. Like, okay, you don't like those sneakers? You want the new sneakers? Okay, I'll give you these sneakers. Here you go. Oh, dang, those are the old sneakers now? You want some better sneakers? You hate those sneakers now? You just don't like the laces? Okay. I'll get you what you don't want sneakers at all. Okay, you want the Yeezy slides. Okay, I'll give you Yeezy slides, no laces. Okay, here you go. Yeezy slides are old now? Okay, so if you have a car, it'll fix all your problems? Yeah, all I need is just that car. Okay, here's your car. It's not the latest car? That's how we sound. At what point in time do we just sit in the fact that God has been answering our prayers this whole time? Sit in that gratitude. In the time of, and I'm gonna let the video go on because y'all know I get to chatting. In the time of everybody constantly talking about be better, entrepreneurship, do this, do that, be better, improve. I don't see nothing wrong with improving. But I do see something wrong when we're constantly thinking about improving instead of festering in the now. You can only improve when you have accepted today. When you have told yourself, I'm good where I am, but I'm going to keep making steps forward. Remember this man right here. Shaking a cup to get change. While you talking about your apartment is too small, make your apartment nice. Make your apartment your mansion. But let's keep going.
It's a motherfucker in a hospital bed wishing he was. It's a motherfucker
love
driving a
this clip.
Ferrari, mad that he got a Ferrari. But it's a motherfucker in a Honda wishing he had a Ferrari. It's a motherfucker riding a bike wishing he had a Honda. It's a motherfucker at a bus stop wishing he had a fucking bike. It's a motherfucker homeless on a bench wishing he had coffee and be on a bus because it's too fucking cold outside. It's a motherfucker in a hospital bed wishing he was fucking homeless to even walk because he's paralyzed. It's a motherfucker dead, burning in hell right now, wishing he was fucking a paraplegic, so at least, even though his body don't work, his mouth work, and he be praying every motherfucking day, trying to avoid going to the hellfire. Be grateful, man. You know what I'm saying? Be grateful. And never let desperation change your destination. Never let frustration change your destination. Never let temptation change your destination. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard, but it's worth it. God is hard, but he's not denying you. He's delaying you, and that delay is preparation.
Man, I love that saying right there. He's not denying you, he's delaying you. Because can I keep it 100? A lot of the things I asked for throughout my life, I was like, I want it now. I wasn't ready to have it then. Like, perfect example, my wife, right? My wife and my kids. I'm so thankful that God brought me my wife when he did. I was not ready all my life. I was not ready all my 20s. I don't know if anybody else will admit that, but I wasn't always ready to be a husband. I was not. I wasn't always ready to just sit down and just be a father and not have to constantly be on the scene and, I'm fighting myself and I was not always this guy. So when I look back at the moments in my life, even the time where I tell y'all, I bought my own house and I was living by myself and stuff. When I look back at that time, man, that did something good for me. It molded me. When I look back at every pain that I've experienced and I give it purpose, I see why it was necessary for today. So I appreciate it. But here's the thing, right? Here's the weird part. I can look back and say, I appreciate when God had me just living by myself, even though I was in that house crying. Because I had days not understanding, yo, why won't my family come see me though? Like, okay, friends, okay, girlfriends, but why won't my family come see me? Like, I bought a house. Why nobody want to come see me? When I think back at those times, but I appreciate it. That made me strong. That made me strong. That made me laser focused. Where people may have got stuck in group thinking, groups didn't really accept me to be in their groups. I wanted to in the time, but I wasn't. But looking back, I appreciate that because now I'm set apart from how others are doing in their lives. There are things that I don't deal with or focus on because when I wanted to be in groups, the groups didn't accept me. The groups didn't care for me. The groups didn't check for me unless they needed something from me. And I remember thinking about those times and crying and being confused. And I could appreciate it now. Because I'm like, that's what sets you apart. But what am I going through right now that I'm eventually going to be like, man, I really appreciate going through that time. I actually needed that time in order for me to get to this time. That's gratitude. Yo, I need this struggle. Man, I'm thankful for this. Man, at least I got this roof, man. Like I started breaking down a second ago because I'm like, yo, I went from having a roommate to having a pretty large roof. Me. And I still have aspirations to do better in life, just like y'all. And sometimes I fester in those. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, but why am I there? And I'm just supposed to be doing this. And why isn't this producing the way? Wait. Okay, it's one thing to know they're not doing, but don't fester in that. Gratitude is the perspective shift. Yeah, but look how far you've came.
It's a mother.
Let me ask you a question, man. Why you ain't change clothes, bro?
Let me ask you a question. Every time you see me, you gotta ask me a question like you 50 Cent asking people 21 questions.
But, bro, you gotta have some hygiene.
Let me
man.
ask you, did you take a bath last night?
Of course, and that's what I'm telling you, man. You gotta have some hygiene,
Well,
man.
congratulations, because I'm homeless and now I have the luxury to take a bath every night and wash clothes like that. So be grateful for what you got and stop always talking about people and stuff. That's what's wrong with people. They always talking about people instead of trying to help them and stuff. Just thank God that you able to take a bath and change your clothes every night. I might have them on the next day and the next day and the next day. That's between me and God. You worry about yourself. Any more questions?
You good,
Oh,
bro.
I'm right down what I thought. Have a blessed day. Huh?
Let me ask you a question.
That was good. And you know, I read this somewhere. The way you judge the world is the way you will judge yourself. When you are constantly hard on other people, constantly judging other people, that is the same way you will treat yourself. But when you constantly love on other people and you decide that, you know what, that brother got on the same outfit, but what if it's for a reason? What if, like, you give him grace? What if he doesn't care about his outfit? Maybe he's just glad to be alive. Maybe he's just glad to have that outfit. Maybe that's his favorite outfit. Maybe that outfit means something to him. That's a perspective. Because one puts you in a state of, yo, why is he wearing that? Well, as soon as I just did that with my face, I just put tension in my face. Y'all see me do that? Yo, why is he wearing that? I'm putting tension on myself. That does something to me internally as well. Y'all could see it, but it does something to me internally as well. My perspective, I've decided, was to put tension on this. Or, okay, maybe you put the tension, right? And then you relieve the tension. Whoa. Maybe you put the tension, then you relieve the tension. Nah. Yo, why is he? He probably really likes that outfit. That's probably his favorite outfit. You know what I mean? That brother look happy. That's all I know. Every time I see him, he look happy. I'm relieving the tension instead of allowing that tension. Nah, man. Perspective. Perspective will save you from that turmoil, that constant roller coaster ride that your brain puts you on every single day of seeing the bad in everything. And that's what's so scary about the internet, because I think the internet trains us to see the bad in everything. Well, nah, there's a lot of good that can be seen. There's a lot of stuff that could be just appreciated. But we're taught to judge. We're taught to find the negativity, to be entertained by the negativity. We're told we're not good enough. But what about gratitude? What about a perspective shift on maybe that's not a bad situation?
Should have done, what you could have been, that conversation. If you struggle with overthinking or anxiety, this is for you. Because I want to give you one of the best anxiety cheat codes. I mean, like a real one, a way to interrupt anxiety in real time. And it's simple, but it's profound. It's gratitude. Here's why. Anxiety always tries to hijack your focus. It zooms your attention in to what's wrong, what you don't have, what you should have done, what you could have been, that conversation that you keep replaying, that mess you haven't cleaned up yet, that deadline that you're behind on. Anxiety strives and survives on selective attention. But here's the cheat code. You can't complain and be grateful at the same time. They don't coexist. And I'm not talking about being polite or surface level gratitude. No, I'm talking about extravagant gratitude. I might write a book about it. But here's what that looks like. When anxiety starts spiraling, you pause and you say, I'm grateful that I'm breathing. I'm grateful that I made it through another day. I'm grateful for the roof that's over my head, even if it's not my dream house yet. I'm grateful for the job that I have, even if it's not my final destination. I'm grateful for the people who are in my life and the people who stayed. I'm grateful that God is with me in this very moment. Listen, you don't wait until the anxiety leaves. You practice gratitude inside the anxiety, because gratitude doesn't deny reality. It reframes it. So next time you feel the spiral starting, don't panic. Be grateful. Be grateful extravagantly, intentionally, out loud if you have to. Because gratitude doesn't just change your mood. It changes what your mind is feeding on. And when you change the focus, you break the cycle. So let's start right now. What are you grateful for? If you struggle with overthinking,
Man, I'll start. I'm grateful for being able to do this. You know what I mean? That was a part of my moment I just had, man. I'm like, I prayed for this. Like there was a time that what I'm living was on my vision board. Like I checked boxes off of my vision board. Like, and although I make another vision board, I have to appreciate that I accomplished this vision board. Has anybody checked a box off their vision board? Have you really like congratulated yourself off of that? I don't know about y'all, but as a kid, I didn't really feel like I was celebrated a lot, so I struggle with celebrating myself. And because of that, I'm an overachiever. I constantly chase more, which is good. But the problem that comes from that is, Well, when do you ever appreciate the wins? Because you'll give attention to your losses. You'll wake up every morning thinking about your losses, thinking about what you could have or should have did. But how often do you replay you won? You did it. Because that will reframe your thinking to help you see that when the next moment arrives in life, maybe there's something you want, or maybe there's a hill or valley that you're encountering, you can go back to that replay of that win that you had. Because time will tell you you'll survive this too. Or there's purpose in this too. Man, that was good.
Because there's a lot of people that are in a worse situation. Let me tell you something. You may think your situation is bad, but I can guarantee you somebody got a worse situation than you. Always be happy for what you have, because there's a lot of people that are in a worse situation than you are. You may say, damn, Chris, I'm down right now. It may be somebody, not only they down, they out. They don't know where they gonna lay their head. They don't even got nothing to lay their head up under. You know what I mean? A lot of times people may be like, I'm unemployed. Well, shit, some motherfuckers serving time. They ain't gonna never see the day. They never getting out. This is reality. So a lot of times, man, when you think your situation is bad, it can be worse. It can be worse. So a lot of times, man, you got to count your blessings, man. My grandparents used to always say that. Count your blessings. A lot of times, man, when you look down on your blessings, God can take away your future blessings. He can take away what you currently got. Because a lot of times, you don't know what you got until you ain't got it. I'll be real with you. You don't know what you got until you don't have it. So be happy with what you have, because there's a lot of people that are in a worse situation than you. As my mom would say when I was a little kid, eat all your food, because there's somebody somewhere who ain't got no food to eat. Just saying.
And it's not about being complacent or not wanting to grow, but it's more so of understanding that weeping in your sorrows and getting down on yourself is also not going to help. So you have two options. You sit there and things could be so much better, and it's just hard, and there's nothing wrong with having that moment, but it's when you repeatedly are having that moment. You're constantly not accepting right now. And then you have, on the other hand, you know what? Things ain't the best, but I remember where I was. And in some day in the future, I'll be talking about this as in the past. But I need right now. I can appreciate where I am right, because I remember when I ain't even had this. Man, I'm looking for a job, but shoot, at least I got water. At least I got a roof. At least my car's still outside. At least I know how to at least pay for this stuff. I'm gonna figure it out. But do it with a positive mind. So, like I always say, man, on Sundays we do a scripture read. So, as y'all could probably see, the video is about gratitude, man. Just having gratitude. So, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 16 to 18. Give thanks in all circumstances. All right. Gratitude keeps you spiritually strong by helping you focus on what God is doing for you instead of only what's going wrong around you. There are people that have brains that if they walk into a room and the room is full of beauty and money and happiness and family and love, they can still see what's wrong, and they will dwell on that crack on the ceiling. Yeah, but who put that together? Yeah, nobody's gonna patch that. Why isn't somebody gonna patch it? Hey, brother, why are you so focused on that? Your wiring in your brain is focused on you dwelling on that instead of Man, there's a crack over there, but hey, man, there's so much. There's love, there's family, there's riches, there's God in this room. I forgot about the crack. Where are you shifting your focus? Because you have control over that. Psalms chapter 100, verse 4. Enter his gates with thanksgiving. The application to that. Thankfulness changes your attitude and helps you approach life, prayer and worship, and positivity instead of bitterness. Philippians chapter 4, verse 6. With thanksgiving, present your request to God. Gratitude helps calm anxiety because it reminds you that God has already carried you through difficult moments before. There is something about, man, I'm just thinking about this time of my life. There was something about, I'll never forget, somebody used to always tell me, yo, you got to stop doing that. I used to always have this saying, if it ain't one thing, it's another. I completely removed that from my vocabulary, completely. Because I really believe that. It will never go right. If this goes right, something's going wrong around the corner. If it ain't one thing, it's another. I completely forgot where I was going with that. Yeah, I know I do all this and don't edit. Hold on, let me reread that. Oh, that's what it was. But it wasn't until I realized, man, God has gotten me out of worse situations. God has got me out of other situations. Man, God got me. Now, I mean, God's going to take care of me. God's going to open a door and I'm going to walk through it. The people that, I kind of side eye a little bit is the people that be like, God got me, and they just sit there. They don't do nothing. Okay, walk in that door. God is opening these doors and saying, yo, go ahead and walk in, you know what I mean? And the answer's on the other side. Just walk in. And you like, God got me. Looking in the door. Walk in the door. You know what I mean? And what I've realized through my life is God will open a door. I told y'all earlier this year, maybe I'll tell you at the end of the year, but I was faced with a surprise financial thing that I have to take care of this year, right? And I didn't expect to. I expected to have more time, a lot more time. But through my track record, my relationship with God, how things usually have went, doors will open. I have to walk in them. And that thing is coming to a closing. I'm getting ready to accomplish that thing. So I don't know what this is going to do for somebody. I just hope this kind of shifts your perspective of just your mindset going into this next week. Now, I mean, going into today, just going into the next month. I just wanted to shift somebody's perspective. Every time you sit here and be like, man, this ain't good enough, or you get to comparing yourself on Instagram to somebody else, you think about that man that's sitting out there with a cup. You think about the kids in other countries that are starving while you're sitting here talking about how your car just ain't fast enough. Just think about that. There's nothing wrong with wanting more. But there is something wrong with not appreciating what all the things that God has given you every single day. And sometimes, a lot of times, most of the time, it takes for God to take those things away from you to be like, damn, I never really appreciated the fact I could walk on two legs and just walk in the shower. Now, I done had to have surgery. Now I could barely go shower by myself. So many things to be thankful for. And that's all I'm asking for y'all. Just be thankful. I mean, be thankful more than you sit there and dwell in the wrong. We dwell more in the wrong than we are thankful. That's all I'm asking. Be more thankful than you dwell in the wrong. Again, hit that like button, subscribe button, turn on my post notifications and all that good stuff. And if you want to make some extra money just playing games on your phone, all you got to do is click the link in the description below, the link in the comment section. These apps literally paying people just to play games on your phone. So try it out, see if it's for you. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But if you catch yourself making money, making money. Until next time, y'all, it's me, your boy, Ty Boogie. Go be thankful for something. Like right now, I want you to say, I'm thankful for 5 things. And name those 5 things. Name those 5 things. It ain't got to be something that the world approves of. It ain't got to be something that your homies approve of. No. What are you thankful for? You. Nobody else has to agree with that. And every day, do that. Because right now, what you're doing is, okay, let me name 5 things that suck in my life. You have practiced that. You have done that with repetition. What about naming 5 things you're appreciative of? Get hit that like button, subscribe button, turn on post notifications. Y'all. I'm out of here.